Welcome back, party people. Mike here with the Social Life of Language, making complex theories simple but never simplified. If you think that sounds cool, hit that subscribe button now. Today we'll be covering an article called Style, Stance, and Social Meaning in Mock White Girl by Tyanna Slobe. On its surface, you got people acting out their best impression of a white girl persona.
Not to be racist, but...
Can we go? There's no Wi-Fi.
My best friend was black. I mean, she's still black. We're not really friends anymore.
Do I look tanner? I just want to change my race. Is that racist?
But we gotta remember that we are always building reality through language, even when we use it ironically or as parody. So how does this happen? Let's find out. This article breaks down Mock White Girl by focusing on 3 different performance contexts. What the author names Savior Mock White Girl performances, then there is the Shit White Girls Say performances, and finally the Teenage Girl Problems performances. We're gonna go through each one, but first we gotta step back and ask ourselves why a mock white girl persona exists in the first place. Because to get there, we have to have a pretty clear understanding of what a white girl persona is. So instead of thinking of the white girl persona as existing in any stable way, we might want to think about the white girl persona as something we recognize because other people recognize it. And those people recognize it because oftentimes in history, we have people that are deemed authorities on social phenomenon, and then they get to pass judgment. What scholar Miyako Inoue calls the listening subject. I'll give you a couple of really easy examples of listening subjects, or people that are empowered to pass judgment on others. So remember when creaky voice and vocal fry became this really big thing, this full-on moral panic? We had non-stop headlines. And conveniently, we also get the names of the authors of these headlines. We can definitely call them listening subjects. But these are not just any listening subjects. These are institutionally empowered listening subjects. In other words, they have a media company behind them publishing their work. It gives a sense of legitimacy to whatever is written about. And it just so happens that these particular people really hate creaky voice or vocal fry when it's coming from women, and men do it just as much. But the number of listening subjects who hate when men do vocal fry isn't as dedicated to bashing the way men talk because, well, you know, misogyny and whatnot. But I want you to keep in mind how creaky voice and vocal fry became a thing in this world that we all started talking about. It's because we had empowered listening subjects or empowered people pointing out this singular linguistic feature and then giving it an entire backstory, an entire mythology and medical history.
It's this aperiodic staccato sound that's formed by compression of the arytenoid cartilages or the vocal processes.
Over time, if you were going to try to be heard in giving a public speech or running your own company, and you wanted to command the room with your voice, but you've been employing vocal fry for a long time.
It gives the voice a popping, gravelly sound at the end. It's aggravating.
The vocal fry phenomenon became a very real thing, as in something that we imagined to be so real that it had effects on the world. Now, the white girl persona is a real thing in a very similar way, but instead of focusing on a singular linguistic feature like vocal fry, it includes a wide range of features that are criticized by a variety of listening subjects. So to me, this article is not only about how mock white girl performances have real effects on the world, it's also a super clear illustration on how stereotypical personas spread, and eventually become recognizable to entire cultures, or in this case, the entire United States. So to be absolutely clear, we are all listening subjects. But we don't all come out on TV or have viral YouTube videos. That's the only reason why I use the word empowered listening subjects. The author of the article does not use the word empowered. That is just me trying to make a point for this video. So let's talk about the first performance genre the author identifies, which she calls Savior MWG, or Savior Mock White Girl. It is no secret that in the US, women deal with misogyny on the day-to-day. Women are infantilized or positioned as incompetent, especially in male-dominated workplaces. So recently, we've seen tons of these career guidebooks written by women giving advice to other women on how to survive in these environments. Now, at times, part of this advice involves criticizing the way women talk. So in this first example, we see the voice actor, Lake Bell, offer advice to women who want to get ahead in their career, suggesting that they need to cure themselves of the sexy baby vocal virus.
I don't want to get on my soapbox here, but I'm going to get on my soapbox. There is a pandemic that is rampant in this country, and it's the sexy baby vocal virus. It's two things, right? So it's pitch, talking really high, and then it's also the affectation, which is the fry and up talking.
So in this performance, Lake Bell takes a strong stance against a collection of linguistic features, and in doing so, creates this dichotomy between women who sound like sexy babies versus women who sound like competent adults. And through her authority as an actor and a celebrity, she becomes an empowered listening subject who has tasked herself with saving women from the sexy baby vocal virus. Hence the name of this performance genre, Savior MWG. The author says, a theme in Savior MWG performances is that certain women possess the social knowledge and linguistic tools necessary to save girls from their own voices. Now, if we look back at history, we see that criticizing how women speak has been a pretty standard tool of male domination. You need to speak with confidence. You need to stop saying the word like. Vocal fry is so annoying. So in this savior genre example, the mock white girl persona is used to blame women for their individual shortcomings, while simultaneously erasing the existence of the structures that promote white masculinity as the norm in the workplace. The next mock white girl performance genre that we're gonna cover is what the author has named teenage girl problems. Here we're focusing on a guy named Brandon Cavillo, who popularized the media series he called Teenage Girl Problems on the now defunct internet platform Vine. Brandon made tons of these 6-second clips where he played a character he named Ashley. What's particularly useful about this set of examples is that it shows that these white girl personas are more than just linguistic features, but actually a large array of selectable signs to choose from. For example, a Starbucks cup, an iPhone, eye rolling, hand gestures. So let's watch a couple of Brandon's vines.
Hi guys, so I'm running away from home because my mom got me an iPhone 5 instead of a 5S.
Ashley, where'd you get the car?
Shut up, I hate you! Oh my god, you're smoking cigarettes? Do you know how addicting those are? Wait a second, where's my phone? Where's my phone? I have to check Snapchat, where's my phone? Where's my phone? Oh my god, like this is so
Oh my god, I know.
Oh my god, we have to text Stephanie.
And Bethany.
And Melanie.
And Tiffany.
And Brittany.
So again, we have a celebrity disseminating mock white girl via the Vine platform. The character Ashley represents a form of girlhood excessively addicted to her social group and her iPhone and attracting teenage boys. Both the teenage girl problems genre and the savior mock white girl genre reveal an underlying anxiety that not everyone sounds like a middle-class white man. The author says it best. Girls' homosocial groups and peer relationships are especially delegitimized as sites of serious cultural production, and their performances are framed as representative of all teenage girls, perpetuating representations of girlhood as a homogeneous social category. And speaking of what is normative, the author identifies how mock white girl performances assume all women talk the same, meaning white women are positioned as the norm. This brings us to a very different way to employ mock white girl, a genre the author calls shit white girls say, which seems to be inspired by the viral YouTube videos shit white girls say to black girls and shit white girls say to Latinas. In the previous genres, we talked about how mock white girl might be used to delegitimize white women, or even maintain a masculine status quo in the workplace. But in this next performance genre, we see a black comedian named Franchesca Ramsey using mock white girl to call out racism experienced by many black women at the hands of white women. Sometimes literally at the hands.
Can I touch it? Okay, I'm already touching it a little.
Is this real?
Kind of feels like a Brillo pad. So cute for a black guy, right? I think what I like the most about them is they're not like stereotypical like black people. You know what I mean?
What is fascinating about this particular mock white girl genre is that it calls out very regular kinds of everyday racism experienced by women of color. Here is a clip from Shit White Girls Say to Latinas.
Oh, you're from Ecuador. How exotic. We don't have a lot of those here. I love chalupas. No, I mean like, where were you born?
I think the author makes a masterful observation here. Shit White Girls Say thus flips the exotifying white gaze to draw attention to white hegemonic racism. In other words, in the everyday, the white gaze gets to comment on all kinds of stuff in a naively racializing way and get away with it. But in this genre of mock white girl, people like Francesca flip the gaze straight back at the white girl persona and says, you know what? Some of the shit that you say to me is pretty effing racist. So mock languages and mock personas are far more complex than we might think. They can be funny, they can be oppressive, they can perpetuate racism, but they can also be flipped to call out racism. In any case, mock languages and mock personas help build our social reality. Well, that's all for today, folks. Don't forget to look me up on Twitter. You can follow me on academia.edu, and of course, please donate to Patreon. This is Mike with The Social Life of Language. And we're done.